Hi everyone. So just today's topic of discussion is because some of them asked me about the online business that we're doing in terms of Nelson, Mary, how fast can we start earning? Can we start seeing the money in 10 days time, 15 days time, 1 month's time? Sometimes they ask, oh, how much will I earn? It's a good question, but there's not just an answer saying that you'll make in 10 days time, 15 days time. It is not a job where you can expect every month a fixed income, because it is a business. I can compare it to farming, right? If you ask a farmer, who's an experienced farmer, um, when will you get your first yield in 1 month's time or 2 months' time? He may not be able to answer it. But if you ask him, when do you think you will get your yield, right? Out of his experience, he might tell, okay, I might get it after a year's time. And if you ask the right question in terms of how much yield do you think you might get, an experienced farmer will say, if I keep doing things that I have to do every day and every night, the process that I need to follow in farming to cultivate the crops or the plants or the trees that he has, he or she might definitely be able to say, probably in a year's time or 2 years' time, I can expect this much of yield. And the best part is that if I continue doing that and the plants have become strong, healthy, every year my yield is only going to grow. And the richness of the yield depends on the kind of work that I do. And not only that, you can expect that yield for the rest of his life. And that is farming. And same way it is business as well. If you stop a job, nobody's going to pay you the next month. But in a business, once it has really built up, and if you monitor it and you keep watering it, and if you take care of it, it'll start giving you that yield. Because I've experienced that back in my country when I ran my own business. And I started very small. I didn't even know how to do a business, but then I started it very small as a side hustle. And over a period of time, I learned the skill of running a business. And later on, it became a part of my life. All I knew is that I have to do certain things, and if I keep doing it, over a period of time that builds up, and automatically it starts giving me that yield, and it keeps running. A good business will keep giving yield for the rest of your life at times, right? Same thing in farming. When I came to Australia, first time I ever started gardening, and a lot of fruit trees that we have, but in particularly I would like to share about the plum tree. When we planted, Mary and I planted the tree, it was very small, and I'm very anxious when will I get the fruit, because the place that we bought from, they said, oh, in the next year you should be able to get the fruit, but I didn't get it. But I didn't stop watering, I didn't stop adding the manure, and then after 2 years I saw the first fruits of it, and I was so delighted. But my neighbor came and met me, he said, Nelson, I think you should do something different. So what is it? You've not done something. I said, what? You got to prune your plum tree. And best part was that I saw him as a mentor, because he has plum trees and he knows how to prune it. And I've seen the fruits on his plum tree was much bigger, and I could say it could much tastier as well, right? So he says, you got to prune the tree the way it has to be done. He said, okay. And he offered to prune it the first time, and I saw it and I learned it. Believe me, the following year, the third year, when I saw the fruits were few, but they were the size of almost a tennis ball, just huge, huge, and rich in taste. And he said, see, that's what it happened. That's what happens when you prune it. Then I understood what was pruning. And next, what do you expect? Now when I've seen the plum tree, the roots have gone deep, the bark of the tree has become thicker, the branches have become a lot more thicker. This year I know I'm going to get bigger yield and bigger fruits, as big as what I got probably the last year, right? So it takes time, but now I know this particular tree, all I have to do is water it, add the right manure, take care of it, prune it the right way at the right time, and I know I will get my fruits. And this is not going to be for just 1 year, it's going to be there for the rest of my life. And if people just leave the tree as is, it can go on for generations. Same principle applies in a business too, right? I would give us simple example. You know, there's a company which started in 2003, and probably it recorded its first profit after about 10 years. But in those 10 years, the owner, I heard us talk, he's worked day and night with his team, you know, investing all his resources, borrowing, doing research, everything, because no one else had done that thing before. Because and he didn't know what was going to be the end result, but all that he knew is that he can do it. You know, after 10 years, they registered the first profit, and today the company is worth almost about $67 billion. I'm sure you would know which company it is. It is Tesla, right? Elon Musk. Similarly, there's another company which started somewhere about I have the thing in about 1994, and it recorded its first profits in about 7 years. Everything is there in the Google. There's nothing that I'm sharing that is something out of the blue. So you can Google it and check. In about 7 years, it made its first profit, and today it's worth more than about its assets are worth more than about $204 billion. I'm sure you can guess it's Amazon. But imagine it takes 10 years to see the first profit, 7 years to take first profit. What have they been doing all these years? They've been working hard, investing, borrowing, investing through borrowings or their own resources, researching, a lot of stuff that they do. But today, the assets are just growing. And imagine the number of people who they employed today, right? So that's what business is. It cannot be compared to a job. I think about our business that we do is so beautiful. The reason is because it's not that nobody has done this business. It's like people have tried, tested, and it works, and they've shown it works. And that's when we plunge. I mean, you know, we took this plunge and said, okay, let's take a look at this business. And believe me, when we started, Mary and I started, we only know two things on internet: sending email and receiving email. That's all we knew. But we had an open mind to learn. That's one good thing about us. Something new that we wanted to add as skill. But today, over a period of time, we've learned what is social media marketing, what it involves, you know, how to do it, how to implement it, and convert it into profitable business. And it has worked for us. Yeah, it has worked for thousands of people. And beautiful thing about all of us who are involved in this business is that we go out of our way to help people out who don't know how to do it. Because most of them have started that way. They've learned it and they share with us. Somebody who's got a skill in some area of social media marketing, they come and approach, says, can we offer this skill and help us out? Fantastic. That's how the whole group has been growing, you know, and we've learned how to apply it in the market and convert it into profits. So coming back to the question, when people have asked me questions like, you know, in how many days will I grow? I can't answer that question. I can't say it'll happen in 2 days time, 5 days time, because it takes time for a person to learn the skill, what it involves. You got to know what the business should know you, because you got to develop your own style of working. And once it clicks, once it starts, and once you make the business work for you, there's no end to it, because you will start enjoying it over a period of time. And when you start enjoying something, you don't look at the money. Just like a farmer, he doesn't look at the yield. He looks at what he has to do. He looks at the process that he needs to follow: watering, adding the manure, pruning, all those things. And the tree will bear its fruits at the right time. First year probably less, next year a little extra, and it keeps growing, right? That's what is all about business, I would say. I can't compare it to a job. It's the mindset a person should have when they enter a business, is the business mindset. Don't look at the yield, but look at what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. And once you do that, once you learn it, and best part is just not about our growth that we're involved in, it gives us that happiness. It's about we helping others also grow in this business. Sharing what we have gives us more joy today, rather than just keeping it to ourselves and we just growing ourselves. That's the beauty of this business. It is in giving that we find more joy. We understand now that in giving that we receive. And that's about our business. In fact, you can take a look at what we do. You have the address of our page. You can get inside and check what we do. Get in touch with us on Facebook, and if at all you want more information as such, you can always say on the comment section. You can put as guide us, and we should be able to get back to you and give you some information. We still can't forget this. Mary and I cannot forget the smile and the joy that we felt when we got the first dollar in our business. It's not about the money, it's about we knew that this business works. The happiness and the joy that we got, we cannot compare it. We did start making money after that too, but then the first joy we can't forget. It's so beautiful. We knew that when it has worked for thousands of people who did not know how to run an online business, they don't know what was social media marketing. They were telling us it is possible, and we wanted to see if it's possible for us. And when we saw, we also did not know anything in the social media marketing, how to do. We only knew about, as I said, sending email, receiving email. Today, when we saw the first dollar coming in, we knew that the business works. And the money that came in as side income, which helped us out in clearing our small debt, that is a big blessing in disguise for us. And plus, when we were renovating this house, whatever extra money came in was so useful, because otherwise we would have ended up taking a loan, which we didn't have to. So all that we did was with our savings and extra money that came in through the business. So it has always been a blessing. So that's how actually a business works. You gotta just what do you say? Just like a farmer, plant the seed, water it, add the manure, learn to prune. Business is also about pruning what is not. You may make some wrong decisions, it's okay, but at least because of the decisions, certain way does not work, and you don't have to repeat that same mistake. Sometimes we felt, a particular way works, and that has not worked for us. And we felt, okay, that this particular way will not work for us, and that's the way that has worked. So all that is about trying and testing, and it keeps you engaged. Your mind is occupied in doing something new, doing something different. And finally, end of it, if you're doing something different, also gives you a monetary benefit, isn't that good? That's about business. You got to enjoy what you're doing. And once you enjoy what you're doing, you got to sit back and relax. Results will follow. So I just wish you a beautiful Saturday and a lovely weekend ahead. See you all next week at another topic that I'll come up with. Until then, bye and see you. God bless you all.